moments when I hear my voice but don't feel like myself, wish I could hold you. It's only you. In the moments when I walk these city streets with someone else, I wish I told you. It's only you. Oh, you. Only you. When the night is over, out of all the places I could choose, I go to you. Only you. Feel you just below the surface, darling. All I wanna do is go to you. Out for a little more of me. Now I can see how much it hurt when I stood still. But I'm learning what it's like to open up a different side. Cause when something hurts this much, I know it's real. Oh, you. Only you. When the night is over, out of all the places I could choose, I go to you. Only you. Feel you just below the surface, darling. All I wanna do is go to you. Feel you just below the surface, and I'm getting on with getting through. Cause things are good and getting better. Holding on until forever doesn't seem to feel so far away. Oh, you. Only you. Feel you just below the surface, darling. All I wanna do is go to you.
All right. Good morning, Eastown. Hi, Logan. Good morning. Thank you for being here. If you're out in the courtyard, it is time to make your way inside. Grab your coffee, grab your snack, check your kids into Eastown Kids. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. And to everyone joining us online, good morning. Thank you for being here. You can let us know you're online by texting Eastown to 94,000. And if you are local in the Bay Area, we would love to invite you to one of our 2 services at 9:30 or 11. We'll get started here in just a few minutes.
You can take my best, it's yours, it was never for me. I'm just looking for something to get me out of my seat, something that's true. What did I do? Cause every time I turn around, I'm back down to 1. Tell me why it feels like I'm still on the run. I need some good news, baby. Feels like the world's gone crazy. Give me some good news, baby. Give it to me, give it to me. I need some good news, baby. Cause all the world's gone crazy. I need some good news, baby. Give it to me, give it to me. I've been holding back when I should be far and free, yeah. But it's not having faith, just believing what you can see. And I'm still looking for something to get me out of my seat, something that's true. What can I do? Cause every time I turn around, I'm back down to 1. Tell me why it feels like I'm still on the run. I need some good news, baby. Feels like the world's gone crazy. Give me some good news, baby. Give it to me, give it to me. I need some good news, baby. Cause all the world's gone crazy. I need some good news, I'm at a party I don't wanna be at, and I don't ever wear a suit and tie. Wondering if I can sneak out the back. Nobody's even looking me in my eyes. Then you take my hand, finish my drink, say, shall we dance? Hell yeah. You know I love you, did I ever tell you? You make it better like that. Don't think I fit in at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. Yeah, I always feel like I'm nobody. Who wants to fit in anyway? 'Cause I don't care when I'm with my baby, yeah. All the bad things disappear. You're making me feel that maybe I am somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby, yeah. 'Cause I don't care as long as you just hold me near. You can take me anywhere. You're making me feel like I'm loved by somebody. I can deal with the bad nights when I'm with my baby, yeah. We at a party we don't wanna be at. Trying to talk but we can't hear ourselves. Pictureless, I'd rather kiss them right back. But all these people all around, I'm crippled with anxiety. But I'm told it's where I'm supposed to be. You know what? It's kinda crazy 'cause I really don't mind. Can you make it better like that? Don't think we fit in at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. Oh yeah, yeah. When we walked in.
Good morning, Eastown. Come on in, please, and have a seat. We're so happy you're here with us this morning. My name is Jen. I serve with Eastown Kids, and I work in the nursery. And hello to everybody online and everyone joining us across the way in the viewing family room in the hub.
My name is Olivia. And I serve on our worship team and with Easttown students. And we want to kick off this morning by just talking to you about a couple things going on in the life of Easttown right now. We just had our annual Freedom Walk yesterday. If you don't know what our Freedom Walk is, one of our Love Local partners is Love Never Fails. And Love Never Fails is an organization that helps human trafficking survivors get back on their feet. And so this was one of the things we do with Love Never Fails is their Freedom Walk. And I got the pleasure of going, and truly it was so impactful to get to hear all these survivors' stories and how they've been able to get back on their feet. But we really encourage you to check them out. Again, they're one of our Love Local partners. So to raise awareness, if you want to check out Love Never Fails, they're awesome.
I love that. And if you are generous here at Eastown and you donate, we talk about giving back to the community and loving local. This is a perfect example of where those funds go to people that need it the most. So it's a great event, a great organization. So if you're interested in participating next year with Olivia, just check out online and on our app. There's more information there as well. Now, next Sunday is a very exciting Sunday. We are going to be celebrating Father's Day, and we're calling it Dad Aura. Because we want to celebrate all the men in everyone's lives that have made a difference to them. So these are people that give guidance, wisdom, love, support, and faith throughout your journey. So whether that's a grandfather, a father, a neighbor, a brother, an uncle, or just a friend, we invite you to invite anybody next Sunday. We are going to have my favorite, Olivia, chicken and waffles. And it's so good. So we'll celebrate at both services, the 9:30 and the 11. So please come next Sunday for chicken and waffles. Invite somebody to come and join as well. We look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. Before we get started this morning, we would love to have you check in with us. So if it's your first time visiting Easttown, there's a Connect card under your chair you can fill out. If you bring it back to This is Easttown at the end of service, we have a gift for you. We'd love to say hello and meet you. You can also tap the circle on your chair in front of you. That'll take you to our Easttown website, which is a great way to stay connected. And if you're in the parent viewing room or joining us online, you can text Easttown to 94000.
So this morning, we are very excited to have Evan come up and present to us today. We are continuing, yes, give it up for Evan. We're continuing our series called The Road Less Traveled, and talking a lot about just truth and how hard that can be sometimes to tell the truth. And so before we do that, we want to have a moment of connection so you can say hi to your neighbors. But we want to give you a little thought starter for conversation. So today, the question for you is, when is a time that you have said yes to something, but you really wish you had said no? All right, we'll get started here in a few minutes. Thank you.
feet, heavy on my knees, walking down a winding road. If you're looking for a home, you are not alone. I can be a stepping stone, 'cause I promise you I'm a dreamer too. Heavy on my feet, walking down a winding road. When it
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you all doing today? Good? Yay. Well, awesome. Well, this morning, as we go into the day where we're going to be talking about the power of our words, we actually want to start this Sunday by singing a song where we're speaking the name of Jesus. And so we really believe that when we sing or speak the name of Jesus, it holds power, it holds weight. And when we're actively using our words to declare what he's going to do and what he can do, we can trust that we'll begin to start seeing that play out in our lives. So I want to invite all of you to stand as we sing this song called I Speak Jesus. I just want to speak the name of Jesus over every heart and every mind. 'Cause I know there is peace within your presence. I speak Jesus. I just want to speak the name of Jesus till every dark addiction starts to break, declaring there is hope and there is freedom. I speak Jesus, 'cause your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. And I just want to speak the name of Jesus over fear and all anxiety, to every soul held captive by depression. I speak Jesus. Sing your name, 'cause your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. Your name is power, your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. This next part, we are using our words to say, we're going to shout Jesus to the mountains, Jesus in the streets. I'm going to declare the power of his name over every single area of my life. Thank you, God, for the power that is in your name. Shout Jesus from the mountains, Jesus in the streets, Jesus in the darkness over every enemy, Jesus for my family. I speak the holy name, Jesus. Shout Jesus from the mountains, Jesus in the streets, Jesus in I just want to speak the name of Jesus over every heart and every mind. 'Cause I know there is peace within your presence. I speak Jesus.
That was awesome. Can we give it up for the band one more time? Yeah, Judah over here playing like 18 different things. Yeah. Joe with the backup vocals giving me chills back there. That was good. Okay. Oh, yeah. That was awesome. Hey. Hey all, my name is Evan. I have been on the leadership team here for like a while. I've been a part of Eastown for a while. I actually got to be a part of starting this thing, and it's amazing to see how far it has come. And I get to speak to you guys today, and I'm really, really excited about that. I have moved out here with my wife and my 10-month-old daughter probably 10 years ago, and I got to tell you, I love the Bay Area. I love it so much. Thank you. I think the Bay is the best. This is a bit of a hot take because some people don't like the Bay. Whenever I meet those people, I think there's something wrong with them, to be very, very honest with you. But I grew up in a town of 1,500 people. Like the whole town was 1,500 people. And like the nearest mall or movie theater was an hour and 15-minute drive away. It was the middle of nowhere. Like our best restaurant was a thing called Tony's Pizza. And I don't think the guy who owned his name was Tony. I think it was just, that was it. It was like, and then I come out to the Bay, and my wife and I have moved around, and then we come out to the Bay, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, it's multicultural. You got two amazing cities right there with Oakland and San Francisco. The mountains are here. The ocean is there. Like, the best eating scene. I love the Bay. Like, I'm not going to leave unless Hawaii tells me to come there, and then I will. But I love it here so much. But I have to be honest with you, there is one thing that I do not like about the Bay. And I learned about this really, really early on when I came to the Bay. And maybe you've heard of this, maybe you have not, but there is something called the Bay Area Maybe. How many of you have ever heard of the Bay Area Maybe? Okay? I'm going to tell you what it is. The Bay Area Maybe is this, is you get invited to go do something with a friend of yours, and they're like, hey, do you want to hang out like 2 Saturdays from now? And you go, maybe. Or you're like, you get like one of those email Evite things, and you open it up, it's like, and right, and like it's like in 3 weeks, it's your second cousin's 3rd birthday, and you're like, it's like click yes, no, and now they even have a maybe option in a lot of those things. And why do we do this? The reason why we do it is because we do not want to commit, right? We want to say maybe, and the reason behind this is because something better might come along, and so we want to be like, maybe I'll be there, but I don't quite want to commit to that. Right? And so you might be like, what's your deal with this? Is this really that big of a deal? It is in my heart. And we're going to talk a little bit about today, the power of our words, and how actually I think this, even though I'm joking a little bit, this actually points to something deeper within us about the way we talk, what we say, and how we communicate. So if you've not been with us, or you're new, or you've been out for a little while, we're going through a series called The Road Less Traveled. And this is all based on a book called The Narrow Path by a guy named Rich Viotis. He's a pastor in Queens in New York City. So by the way, if you're a Knicks fan, congratulations, right? Are there any Knicks fans in here? 2.5 people. Okay, that's awesome. Anyway, so The Narrow Path is based on this book in the New Testament in Matthew. And Jesus is giving a message called the Sermon on the Mount. If you've never heard this before, it's incredible. As the kids say, it slaps. Like, it just hits. It is probably one of the more influential sermons of all time. And Jesus in it is giving his message, and he's teaching the people about a new way to live, right? And so really this idea, he's giving them kind of principles to live by. And we all live by something, right? I'll give you an example of this. If you think that success is like the most important thing, like I just want to be successful, then you will reorient your life around that thing to chase after it. And that's a principle that like a lot of people live by, right? Especially in the Bay, right? We chase success, we chase fame, fortune, wealth, things like that. But the problem is sometimes we do that at the cost of maybe like our family or our friendships or our relationships, right? We chase after that thing. And Jesus is saying, hey, I actually have a new way for you to live. The language he uses a lot of times is this idea of something called kingdom language, where you have these principles or these rules or these ways of life that you follow. And he's saying, follow my way. Do the things that I'm telling you to do because my way is better. Right? There's a great quote by Jim Carrey, yes, that guy, who talks about, hey, I hope everybody finds like wealth and happiness and success in their lives, and then they realize that it's actually not everything that they thought it would be. Right? Even like one of the most wealthy and famous actors hits that kind of pinnacle and realizes it's empty. It's not as life-giving as he thought. And Jesus is telling you that if you live this way that he's teaching you, you will have life. In fact, there's a verse in John 10:10 that says, you can have abundant life or life to the fullest if you adopt these principles and these ways of life that Jesus has been telling you. So, we've been going through this at Eastown. We've been going through the Beatitudes. We've been talking about what it means to be salt and light in our world. We talked about our money. We talked about our anger, how to kind of manage and direct that. And today we're going to be talking about our words. And you might be thinking, yes, words have power, right? Yeah, tell me about that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about integrity and honesty. And everybody never cheers for that because it's just, yeah, it's not a fun topic. But yeah, thank you. I always know, Tracy, my hype woman over there, I'm telling you. So we're going to jump right in, and we're going to look at this scripture from Matthew that Jesus is teaching. And I have a couple different versions for you just to kind of hopefully resonate with you and see what Jesus is saying about the power of our words. So check out this from Matthew 5. It's going to be on the screen. You have also heard that our ancestors were told, you must not break your vows. You must carry out the vows you make to the Lord. But I say, don't make any vows. Don't say by heaven, because heaven is God's throne. Don't say by the earth, because the earth is his footstool. And don't say by Jerusalem, for Jerusalem is the city of the great king. Don't even say by my head, for you can't turn one hair white or black, even though some of you might wish you could. Just say a simple, yes, I will, or no, I won't. Anything beyond this is from the evil one. Now, I want to show you a different translation of that called The Message. Check this out. Don't say anything you don't mean. This counsel is embedded deep in our traditions, and you only make things worse when you lay down a smokescreen of pious talk, saying, I'll pray for you, and never doing it, saying, God be with you, and not meaning it. You don't make your words true by embellishing them with religious lace. In making your speech sound more religious, it becomes less true. Just say yes and no. When you manipulate words to get your own way, you go wrong. I'm going to give you a little context for what Jesus is talking about. During this time, people were kind of making these oaths or these promises to each other to kind of like validate what they were saying, right? They would say, I swear by heaven, or I swear by Jerusalem, which was a pretty famous city at the time. It still is. And I swear by this, and I swear by that, to kind of give like extra oomph to what they were saying. The modern equivalent of this, and I remember doing this as a kid, might be something like, I swear to God. Or I swear on my mother's grades. Anyone do that when they were a kid? I swear on my mother's grades. My mom was still alive, is still alive, and I was doing that. I feel bad. Or like, I give you my word. Now, the crazy thing about me, and maybe I'm alone in this, is when I was a kid doing that, I was lying. But I was using that to try to like convince my friends that I wasn't lying. Or to convince my parents, like, where were you? And I'm like, I swear to God, I wasn't over at my friend's house. But I was. But I was using that. And this is what Jesus is talking about. And like, look, if you just kind of approach this at face value, it honestly seems kind of nitpicky by Jesus. You're like, Jesus, what's the deal? Like, was it that big of a deal? And what I love about Jesus' teaching, and what I love about Jesus, is he's less concerned about your outward stuff and more concerned about your heart. About what is the orientation of your heart? Why are you doing the things you're doing? What about your character and your honesty and your integrity? And that's what he's talking about. Is he's saying, let's not be people who have to kind of like add this extra stuff to be known as people who are trustworthy. Let your yes be yes and let your no be no. Can we be actually people of integrity? And so we're going to talk about that because it turns out it's a bit of a problem. If you have kids in the room, raise your hand if they have ever lied to you. Right? Now, we go, yeah, kids, they do that stuff. Here's the crazy thing. They don't grow out of it. I was reading this book called Dopamine Nation by Dr. Anna Lemke, and she says that the average adult lies between 0.59 and 1.65 times a day. A day. That we kind of have done this. And in psychology, there is literally something called the lying habit, which is exactly what it sounds like. The more you lie, the more easy it becomes, and the more it becomes ingrained in who you are, and you begin to adopt a practice of dishonesty and a lack of integrity. And it actually takes effort and intentionality to get out of that lying and into telling the truth, which is crazy to think about. And so you might be like, man, this is wild. I'm not a liar. I've never lied. Okay. I was reading this and I was like, man, why? Why do we get caught in this? And I started to read a little bit in The Narrow Path and other books, and I found out that those reasons that we do this are far more relatable than just being like, I'm going to wake up today and lie just because I feel like it. We do this for 3 reasons. I'm going to tell you the first one. This first one, it hit me a little too hard. The first reason that we end up lying is because we don't want to disappoint others. We want people to like us. We want to impress them. We want to avoid conflict. We want to manipulate situations, and we want to self-protect. And when we put a kind of like curate a facade of who we are, right, we create these lies in our lives because it honestly, in our minds, is just easier to not tell the truth. I'll give you a little example of this. My wife and I have been married this coming Friday, 16 years. You should cheer for her. It's very impressive on her part that she has put up with me for so long. Early on in our dating relationship, and even into marriage a little bit, you're dating, you're getting to know each other. It's very loving. You're like riding in the car together. You're like, ah. And she throws on some music. And it's like, if you know who Jack Johnson is, he only has like a guitar and like a ukulele, and that's like it. There's no drums. Anyway, she puts us on, and I was like, ah. She's like, do you like this music? I'm like, yes. She's like, what's your favorite kind of music? And I was like, your favorite kind of music is my favorite kind of music. Whatever you like, I also like. I know. And she's like, oh, that's great. This works out so well. But I was harboring a dark secret, which is so silly, so inane. But I like music where there's lots of guitars and lots of drums and some well-placed screaming. And my wife, I'll be honest with you, still today doesn't like it. And it was interesting. I wanted to say, like, no, this is the music I love. I'm very into emo and screamo, and I want to tell her that, but I didn't, because I was worried that by sharing that, she would go, ugh, what the heck is wrong with you, and peace out. But we do this, right? We worry that by showing that part of ourselves that we think is not so great, that the person that we are sharing it with will leave, won't like us, will disapprove, will engage in conflict with us, whatever that might be. Guys, it took me a long time to just be open with her and not like hide my musical preferences from her, which seems so small. But what's really fascinating is when you share those parts of yourself that you think are the worst, that you think will ruin the relationship, the opposite actually happens. In that same Dopamine Nation book, she talks about people get closer through their shared brokenness, through their shared openness. So I just want to challenge you, because this resonates. You might be afraid to engage in conflict, afraid of like, oh, they're not going to like me if I show myself, if I share that part of me. The opposite will happen. You will get closer. Second reason that we end up getting kind of trapped in dishonesty or a lack of integrity is we live life on the go. We are way too busy. And I'm sure this resonates with you. We're actually going to talk about this at Eastown in July about how we don't take time to rest, right? We're constantly like moving. It's almost like a badge of honor when someone's like, hey, how are you? You're like, busy, right? No one ever is like well rested and emotionally healthy, right? They're just like, we're busy. And we overextend ourselves. And so what we end up doing is people are talking to us and they're saying, hey, do you want to be in on this? Do you want to be in on that? And we go, yes, yes, yes. And I resonate with this one too. I'm a 7 on the Enneagram, if you know what that means. We are in for everything. Literally, I have a text message sitting unanswered in my phone. Someone invited me to dinner this week, and I started typing yes. Not checking with my wife, not looking at my schedule. I just started typing yes, and I was like, oh, hold on, I gotta stop. Because I'm just in on everything. But what if it doesn't work out? What if I haven't taken that moment? I'm in counseling, which is hopefully not surprising. And my counselor, he gave me this advice, and it's so simple, but it has been so good for me. He said, I want you to implement the stop method, where you just simply say stop, not out loud, in the conversation to yourself so you can have a moment to actually think about what your response is to that thing. Because I was just so quick in responding. People were like, do you want to do this? Yes. And then I couldn't do that thing, and I'd have to double back to that person and say, hey, I actually can't do the thing I said I would do, and so I'm really, really sorry about that. When we can actually slow ourselves down and take a beat and be intentional about our yeses and our nos, we can live a life of more freedom, and I'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later. The next and the last one is this idea of us living in a culture of superficiality. Look, so many of us get caught doing this thing, and I'm sure you've experienced this. You've either been on the end of it or you've done it yourself, where somebody checks in on you, right? And they say, how are you? Hey, how's things going? How's life? And what do we often say? Good, fine, I'm good, I'm doing well. But your life is a train wreck. No offense. You're like, things are tough for you. But you go, I'm good, I'm great, I'm busy, right? And we don't actually get down to the deeper part of things. What if we did? What if we were truly honest with each other? Now, I'm not saying you go like someone goes, hey, how are you on the street? And you go, terrible, let me tell you all about it. I'm talking about with people who you trust. I'm talking about with people who you are in relationship with. But it takes honesty to build that trust in that relationship. What if the next time that someone who you were close to checked in and you said, hey, I'm not doing great. My marriage is struggling. I'm lonely. I'm struggling with alcohol. I can't seem to put it down. I've got an addiction I just can't shake. And you shared those things. What if the path to freedom from those things was actually you being honest with each other in your relationships? What kind of freedom could we actually experience? Now, here's a crazy thing. In Alcoholics Anonymous or NA or SA or really any kind of like recovery program, one of the key foundations in it is called rigorous honesty. Like, you will not move forward in the path towards healing in those programs unless you are honest with each other. In fact, they tell you, find at least one person to be fully honest with so that you can grow, right? We'll talk about you being as sick as your darkest secrets a little bit later on. But that's a key foundation. And look, it's a challenge to us here in the church to not simply walk in and be like, hey, coffee was really great. Man, that song was awesome. And just stay on this kind of like top level. It's actually a challenge for us to step a little bit deeper in relationship, to actually be vulnerable and honest with our struggles, because when you are, you actually get closer to each other. You establish a foundation of trust, and you can experience freedom from that thing that you are holding on to and hiding from others. Here's the thing. The danger of living lies is this, right? Because I teach high schoolers. Thank God for summer right now. I teach high schoolers, and a lot of them will have these talks about honesty. We'll have these talks about these things, and they'll be like, "What's really the big deal? Is a little white lie that big of a deal?" Right? We've heard that term, the white lie. But there is a danger in living lies, and here it is: we eventually believe them ourselves and become them. Right? When you live this life of dishonesty or a lack of integrity, you eventually become the very lies that you are. And they become this weight on your shoulders of having to live them, of having to constantly be like, okay, what did I say about that? And how did I do that? But when we're honest, we actually live freely. And I'm going to tell you that they compound. I know this from personal experience, that you can start with this little surface white lie about music. Who cares about what my preferences of music are? Why, what, should I even tell her? Is it that big of a deal? I'm just avoiding conflict. She'll like me better if I like Jack Johnson. But it spirals. Those little tiny lies become medium lies, become big lies, become large lies, and then you become in this lifestyle of lies. I was hiking earlier this month with some friends, and we were at this river up in Northern California, and we were jumping in. It was like 42 degrees. It was amazing. And in the middle of this river is this really big rock that had fallen down years and years ago. But it was like split like this, like it was split in half. And I was like, that's so cool, like how that happened. And how it happened over time was that the water had eventually kind of pushed this pressure on, and there was a light, small crack in that rock. It didn't just one day be like, boom. But over time, the pressure, the force of the water against it, that little crack became a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger until it split. And I'm going to tell you a bit later that was my life, is starting out with small little deceptions for different reasons, right? And it eventually became something that I could not even manage of myself. And I ended up having to hit rock bottom before I was able to experience this freedom. So we know why we lie. We know that there's a danger in living lies, right? That we should become them. We believe them ourselves. And so what should we do? And we're going to jump into Ephesians because I think Paul gives some really, really good advice here. Check this out from Ephesians 4:25. So stop telling lies. There we go. It's so simple. Let us tell our neighbors the truth, for we are all parts of the same body. And so I want to jump into just a few things to kind of give you to take with you as you begin to think about living this life of honesty and integrity, the power of our words when our yeses are yeses and our nos are nos. One is that we say what we mean. What we say what we mean. I think this is so important, right? Is us actually being direct, us not having to kind of dance around what is true and what is not. We're talking about, Brett, this morning, we're talking about like politicians and how like there's the thing that they should be saying or talking about, but they kind of dance around it and move around it and never actually get to the thing. But can we become people who are known for saying what we mean when we say it? And the second thing is, are we people who do what we say? Are we actually people who can be trusted to follow through on how we are living, on the promises that we are making? When someone, even as simple as says, hey, will you come to this thing? And we go, yes, that we actually follow through and become people of good character and good integrity. Because this is what Jesus cares about. He cares that we are people who represent him well, who say what we mean, who do what we say. And then the third one is that we say the same no matter who we are with. I think this stepped on my toes a little bit, right? Like, are we people who in one space of our lives, maybe like the workspace, are one person and then go home and are somebody totally different, and then come to church and are somebody totally different there? And we have all of these kind of versions of ourselves that we curate for people. Or can we actually be people who are the same, saying the same, doing the same, no matter what group we are with? Because that's where you'll begin that journey to freedom. Right? A very famous author and priest named Ronald Rolheiser says this: we are as sick as our sickest secret, and we are as healthy as our most private virtue. We cannot be doing one thing in private and radiating, professing something else in public. You will tear yourself apart living that life. In fact, the we are as sick as our sickest secret is literally in a lot of the Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, a lot of those recovery programs. That thing that you think you can't show to people or share with people is actually the very thing that is tearing you apart. The fourth one is this: we speak the truth in love. In Ephesians also it says this: instead we will speak the truth in love, growing in every way more and more like Christ, who is the head of his body, the church. Now look, you might be walking out of here and being like, I'm going to be more honest in my life. I'm going to tell people exactly what I think about them. And I'm going to go and be like, you are terrible. And when my spouse says, do you like my outfit? I'm going to say, not at all. It's terrible. And I'm going to go and tell my boss at work how terrible of a job he is doing. And I'm going to live a life of honesty. That's not what I'm talking about by any means. And I think this is so important. Because look, if you in all of your relationships do not start with love, it's empty. It's empty, right? You can't just be this harsh truth in your relationships and in your workplaces and in your families. You must approach these things with love, with care for the other person. Now, I will say this to you too. Sometimes the hardest truth is the most loving thing. I have had a lot of my friends come to me in my life and say, hey, you're off base. Like you need to get your life right. You need to be doing this, not that. And I'm like, oh, that hurts my feelings. That offends me, right? Don't say something I don't want to hear. But the truth that they were telling me was actually the most loving thing. There may be people in your lives who are encouraging you towards something greater, but the truth is hurting you. That doesn't mean that they're unloving. They're actually probably doing the most loving thing by saying the thing that might hurt you the most, because they love you and they care about you. I want to tell you this as we close, right? Lies and deception and dishonesty are a trap and a prison. And every time that you do this, that you say another little lie or a medium lie or a big lie or whatever, or that thing you hide and you don't share from people, you're adding another little bar in this little prison cell that you are putting yourself in. But the beauty of it is that Jesus actually desires freedom for you. And look, I'll share with you that this hits home for me in a really hard way, because I started with the stupid, simple lies of my musical taste and things like that, just so people would like me. And it grew over time to become medium lies and big lies, where I eventually got to the point where I was actually living two separate selves. I had myself that I had curated that everyone was like, that guy's got it all together. He's really amazing. He's awesome. But I was living this entire double life over here where I was hiding and not sharing. And it actually took me hitting rock bottom, where all of the things that I had lied about and deceived my friends and my family all about, it came exposed. And I will tell you this too, like, it does end up coming out. It just does. Like, you may think you've got your lies all managed and together. You may think that, oh, no, I've got this. I've curated it. It will be sure your sin will find you out is a classic, but it's true. And it took me hitting like this rock bottom, and everything got exposed in my life. And I remember when I was confessing, and there's so much power in confessing, when I was sharing with my wife and my friends the deepest, darkest parts of me, the things that I had struggled with, the addictions that I could not manage, I felt this weird sense of freedom. I felt this weird sense of release. I felt literally a weight go off of my shoulders. And what I found probably to be the most fascinating about all of this is that the people who I thought would leave me in that dark, low moment stayed and loved me even more than I thought by staying, by helping me work through it. You're not alone in this journey. I don't know what that thing is for you that you are holding on to, that you are hiding, that you are curating. You're saying, this is the thing that if someone found out, it would be the worst. It won't be the worst. It will be hard, but there is freedom on the back end for you. I know this. I'm standing here today because I hit that rock bottom. People found out, but I experienced freedom by the practice of confession, by sharing my deepest and darkest secrets. And look, we're going to sing a song in a few minutes about refining fire. I'm not going to promise that the journey out of that will just kind of be like, whoa, this is easy and simple. But Jesus came to set you free, right? Jesus does not want you to be in this trap, in this prison of like this self kind of like made image. He wants you to be fully and truly who you are, to let your yeses be yeses and your noes to noes, and you to live in this kind of like radical honesty with each other. Because when you do that, there is freedom. There's a great verse in Galatians that goes like this. Christ has set us free to live a free life. So take your stand. Never again let anyone put a harness of slavery upon you. Look, the lies that I had told myself and told others were literally like a weight on my shoulders. And when I was able to confess those and start the journey of recovery, I experienced so much freedom. And that freedom is from Jesus. And look, I grew up in a Christian church, and you hear a lot about like, hey, Jesus came to save you from death. And that's true. The gospel is that Jesus came to save you from death. But what is often forgotten, and what I want you to hear this morning, is that Jesus also came to bring you new life. The life that you have maybe been living, where you have felt trapped, where you have curated something, Jesus says, no more. Give me your fullest honesty and experience freedom like you have never experienced before. I'm going to pray, and I want you to just take a moment and reflect. Maybe something resonated with you. Maybe there is that part of you that you have felt like you could not show anybody. And you say, no. If that got found out, my life would be ruined. I want you to think about it maybe differently this morning. If that got found out, could I be free? God, thank you for who you are and how you love us. God, I pray this morning just for rigorous honesty for all of us in our lives, God. I pray that you will show us how to experience this newfound freedom that we don't have to curate versions of ourselves for people to like, but that we are loved by you, and that actually people will love us even in our brokenness, and that you desire us to step out, that you are the key to stepping out of that cell that we've made for ourselves and experiencing freedom and life in you. In your name, amen.
As we sing this song, I want you to take a moment just to pause and think about what it is that God wants to refine in you, and just invite him in. He will answer this prayer if you make it with sincerity in your heart, and he will refine you and help you to become exactly who he's called you to be. So have your way, God. If the altar's where you meet us, take me there, take me there. If what you need is just an offering, it's right here. My life is here, and I'll be a living sacrifice for you. You're a fire, the refiner. I wanna be consumed. Be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life. I want to be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life.
If your glory wants to come in, let it fall. We want it all. Your fire is consuming. Let its place, set it ablaze, and I'll be a living sacrifice for you. You're a fire, the refiner. I wanna be consumed.
I wanna be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life. I wanna be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life. Go ahead and stand as we sing this next part, and we're just asking God, clean my hands, purify my heart. Lord, let our yeses be yes and our noes be noes, and just help us be exactly who you've called us to be. So clean my hands and clean my hands, purify my heart. I wanna burn for you, only for you. Take my life as a sacrifice. I wanna burn for you, only for you. Clean my hands, purify my heart. I wanna burn for you, only for you. Take my life as a sacrifice. I wanna burn for you, only for you. Clean my hands, purify my heart. I wanna burn for you, only for you. Take my life as a sacrifice. I wanna burn for you, only for you. You're a fire, the refiner. I wanna be consumed. You're a fire, the refiner. I wanna be consumed. You're a fire, the refiner. I wanna be consumed. I wanna be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life. I wanna be tried by fire, purified. You take whatever you desire. Lord, here's my life. I count on one thing. The same God that never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now in the waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. You're working all things out. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will. God, we choose to bless your name. We choose to declare who you are. We choose to believe there's power in your name. Count on one thing. The same God that never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now in the waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. You're working all things out. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will. And not just to praise, to glorify the name of all names, that nothing can stand against, and not just to praise, to glorify the name of all names, and nothing can stand against, and not just to praise, to glorify the name of all names, that nothing can stand against, and not just to praise, to glorify the name of all names, that nothing can stand against. And yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will.
Awesome. The band, awesome. You guys can sit down. It's time for part 2. And so, yeah, that joke never gets old. Anyway, I really hope today that something resonated with you, and that you realize that it is for freedom that you have been set free, and Jesus desires that for you. And it does take that step of courage out, right? Like Brent this morning was talking to the crew about a tomato plant. I'm not much of a gardener, but he was talking about this tomato plant and this idea of cutting off the parts that weren't growing to the tomato, so all of everything could go to making that tomato the best it could possibly be, the greatest tomato of all time, right? But what is that thing in your life that needs to be pruned, that needs to be cut out, that needs to be taken away? What is that thing that you are hiding, that you are saying, I cannot show that part of me to someone else? Because that may be the very thing, when you bring it to the light, it begins to die and you experience freedom like you've never known before. But look, I know this because I've been through it. It takes a lot of courage to go through some kind of program or some kind of thing, like to take that first step. But I want you to know you don't have to do it alone. Eastown has started a program called Celebrate Recovery. And I would encourage you to ask more questions about that. I'll be up here at the end. We'll have someone back at This is Eastown back there to ask any questions you have about that. Because you can experience freedom by living this radical, rigorous honesty in your life, and you don't have to do it alone. You can do this through community, through Celebrate Recovery, and experience something you've maybe never experienced before. Also this morning, if you need prayer, I'll be up here. Bill is right here. Grab one of us. We'd love to pray over you and pray for you. If you're new at Eastown this morning, we'd love for you to check in at This is Eastown back there. We've got a free gift for you. Love to get to know you. Eastown is really committed to relationships, committed to being in our neighborhoods and in our community, and we'd love for you to hear more about who we are. Make sure to come back next week. We've got chicken and waffles. If you didn't hear that at the beginning, it's Father's Day, and we'll have a few guys up here getting interviewed about just their experiences as being a dad. It's going to be an awesome experience. Have a wonderful Sunday, and thank you all so much.
caught the rip tide.
Ayy, smooth talker,
Slip when I slide.
ayy, couldn't reach us,
Baby, why try?
hasta la vista,
Baby,
bye-bye.
excuse me, had to slide by you like a two-seat.
Wonder how we stay so cold, the floor coolsy.
Skin smooth, plus I'm getting fit too. I don't carry weight, but my last name do like Scooby. Oopsie, dropping another one, it's a doozy. Oopsie, copping another one, need two, please.
Who's he? Think I recognize him from the movies.
IMDb Cooper, you might lose me.
Only by the God, that's two knees.
Dollar for my thoughts, gave him two like two knees. Got a lot of dough, think I needed something to need. Money and the safety of my family, that's my two needs. What you know about a quad entendre? Name a competition that I'm not on top of.
Popped off
And I'm not stopping.
and I drop off.
Then I walk tall like I'm Dwayne
Rock Johnson. Float water,
Caught the rip tide.
ayy, smooth talker,
Slip when I slide.
ayy, couldn't reach us,
Baby, why try?
hasta la vista,
Baby,
bye-bye. More space, damn it, I need acreage.
let's talk.
I'm too tired of conversations.
Rap game,
Keanu Reeves, I'm the replacement.
rap game. Keanu Reeves, free of